Welcome back to the channel, where we dive deep into the most dramatic, emotional, and unforgettable family stories. Tonight, we uncover the hidden romance, the shocking revelations, and the life-changing decisions that will forever transform one young woman's journey. From secret room dates to a $1 million wedding gift. Yes, you heard that right. Amber Johnston and Trent Johnston's daughter, Anna Johnston. Anna Johnston secretly room date with her secret boyfriend. Finally, Anna Johnston pregnant. And Anna Johnston is about to give birth to an illegitimate baby. Her boyfriend named Zach. Zach is a banker. Finally, Anna Johnston and Zach's wedding is set to be officially celebrated upcoming March 10, 2026. Amber Johnston has decided to gift her daughter a house worth $1 million for her wedding. Stay tuned, because every chapter will pull you deeper into the whirlwind of love, scandal, and redemption. It all began quietly, almost invisibly, within the walls of a modest family home. Anna, the daughter who had always been seen as cheerful, responsible, and deeply connected to her parents, carried a secret that no one suspected. Behind closed doors, in the quiet of her room, she was living a double life. Her boyfriend, Zach, a young banker with a calm demeanor and sharp mind, had become her hidden world. Their meetings were carefully planned, timed to perfection, and cloaked in secrecy. While the rest of the family believed Anna was studying late or simply enjoying her solitude, Zach would slip into her room, and together they would share stolen moments of laughter, whispered dreams, and promises of a future they weren't yet ready to reveal. The secrecy wasn't born out of shame, but out of fear. Fear of how her parents might react, fear of the community's judgment, and fear of losing the fragile balance she had built between her family's expectations and her own desires. Anna knew her parents valued honesty, but she also knew that love, especially young love, often demanded risks. Zach, though cautious, was equally committed. He admired Anna's resilience, her ability to carry herself with grace, despite the challenges of being constantly in the public eye. He wanted to be her protector, her partner, and her future. But for now, he was her secret, her hidden joy, her forbidden comfort. Every meeting carried a thrill. The sound of footsteps in the hallway, the creak of the floorboards, the hushed giggles that had to be silenced in an instant. All of it added to the intensity of their bond. They weren't just dating. They were surviving together in a world that wasn't ready to accept them. And yet, as the nights passed and their connection deepened, Anna began to feel the weight of secrecy pressing harder against her heart. She wondered how long she could keep this hidden, how long she could balance the expectations of her family with the desires of her own soul. Little did she know, the choices she made in those quiet nights would set off a chain of events that would change her life forever. Secrets have a way of slipping through cracks, no matter how carefully they are hidden. For Anna, the thrill of her room dates with Zach was intoxicating, but the silence surrounding them began to feel fragile. Every laugh muffled behind closed doors, every hurried goodbye before footsteps echoed in the hallway, carried the risk of discovery. It started with small things. Her siblings noticing she seemed distracted, her phone buzzing late at night, the way she would disappear into her room with a smile that lingered longer than usual. To most, these were harmless signs of a young woman enjoying her independence. But in a household where every detail was observed, whispers began to form. Her mother, Amber, noticed first. She had always been protective, always attuned to the subtle shifts in her children's moods. Anna's glow was undeniable, but so was her secrecy. Amber wondered if her daughter was hiding something, though she hesitated to press too hard. Parents know when something is brewing, but they also know that forcing the truth too soon can shatter trust. Meanwhile, Zach felt the tension too. He was proud of his career as a banker, proud of the stability he could offer Anna, but he also knew that their relationship was built on fragile foundations. He wanted to step into the light, to prove himself worthy of her family's respect. Yet Anna wasn't ready. She feared the judgment, the questions, the possibility that her parents might see her love as reckless. The whispers grew louder when Anna's friends began to notice changes. She skipped outings, avoided long conversations, and seemed to carry a secret weight. Rumors spread quickly in small communities, and soon, people began to speculate. Was Anna hiding a boyfriend? Was she in love? Or was there something more? Anna tried to ignore it all, but the pressure mounted. Every glance from her mother felt sharper. Every question from her siblings felt heavier. She wanted to protect Zach, to protect their love, but she also knew that secrets rarely stay buried. One evening, as she sat alone in her room after Zach had left, Anna stared at her reflection in the mirror. She saw a young woman torn between two worlds, the world of her family's expectations and the world of her own desires. The whispers outside her door were growing, and she knew it was only a matter of time before the truth demanded to be heard. The shadows were no longer silent. They carried voices, suspicions, and questions that Anna could not escape. The whispers had grown louder, but Anna's secret was about to become impossible to hide. One quiet morning, as the sunlight filtered through her curtains, she sat on the edge of her bed with trembling hands. The test she held was small, but its message was enormous. Two faint lines stared back at her, carrying the weight of a future she had never imagined arriving so soon. Anna's heart raced. She thought of Zach, the banker who had promised her stability, who had whispered dreams of building a life together. She thought of her parents, Amber and Trent, who had always expected honesty and responsibility from their children, and she thought of the whispers already circling her life. Now those whispers would become thunder. The realization was overwhelming. She was pregnant. The secret romance that had lived in the shadows had now created a reality that could not be hidden. Every choice she had made in those quiet nights had led to this moment, and now she faced a decision that would change everything. Zach was the first to know. When Anna told him, his face shifted from shock to determination. He took her hands, looked her in the eyes, and promised he would stand by her. "We'll face this together," he said firmly. His words were steady, but Anna could see the flicker of fear behind them. He knew the road ahead would not be easy. For days, Anna carried the secret alone within her family. She smiled at dinner, laughed with her siblings, and pretended nothing had changed. But inside, she was consumed by questions. How would her parents react? Would they see Zach as trustworthy? Would they see her as reckless? Or would they understand that love, even when unexpected, can shape destiny? The weight grew heavier with each passing hour. She felt the changes in her body, the quiet reminders that life was already beginning inside her. And with those reminders came a new kind of courage. Anna realized that hiding was no longer an option. The truth would come out, and when it did, she would need to stand tall. The unexpected news was no longer just hers. It was a story that would ripple through her family, her community, and her future. The secret romance had created a new chapter, one that carried both scandal and hope. And as Anna lay awake that night, staring at the ceiling, she whispered to herself, "This is the beginning." Secrets, no matter how carefully guarded, eventually demand to be revealed. For Anna, the weight of her unexpected news grew heavier each day. She had carried it quietly, but her silence was beginning to fracture under the pressure of her family's watchful eyes. Amber, her mother, had noticed the subtle changes, the way Anna avoided long conversations, the way her laughter seemed forced, the way her eyes carried a secret she couldn't share. It was during a family dinner that the confrontation finally erupted. The table was filled with chatter, plates clinking, and the usual warmth of shared meals. But Amber's gaze lingered on Anna, sharper than usual. "Anna," she said softly, "is there something you need to tell us?" The room fell silent. Every sibling turned to look at her. their curiosity piqued by the sudden seriousness in their mother's tone. Anna's heart pounded. She had rehearsed this moment in her mind countless times, but now that it was here, the words felt impossible to form. She opened her mouth, closed it again, and finally whispered, "I'm pregnant." The shock was immediate. Forks froze mid-air, eyes widened, and the silence grew so thick it was suffocating. Amber's face shifted from disbelief to a storm of emotions: fear, concern, and a mother's instinct to protect. Trent, her father, leaned back in his chair, his expression unreadable but heavy with thought. The siblings exchanged glances, some stunned, some curious, all waiting for the explosion they knew was coming. "Pregnant?" Amber repeated, her voice trembling. "Anna, how long have you been hiding this? Who is the father?" The questions cut through the air like knives. Anna swallowed hard, her hands trembling as she answered, "His name is Zach. He's a banker. We've been seeing each other for months." The room erupted. Questions flew from every direction. "Why didn't you tell us? How could you keep this secret? What are you going to do now?" Anna sat frozen, her eyes brimming with tears, her voice shaking as she tried to explain. She spoke of love, of Zach's promises, of her fear of judgment. But the words felt small against the tidal wave of emotion crashing around her. Amber rose from her chair, pacing the room, torn between anger and compassion. "You should have trusted us," she said finally, her voice breaking. "We are your family. We would have stood by you." Trent placed a hand on Amber's shoulder, his silence speaking volumes. He was processing, weighing, deciding how to guide his daughter through the storm. The confrontation was raw, painful, and unforgettable. The truth was out, and there was no turning back. Anna's secret had shattered the calm of her family's world, and now they all stood at the edge of a new reality, one that would test their love, their unity, and their strength. The confrontation had left the family shaken, but the storm was far from over. Anna's confession had opened the door to questions that demanded answers, and at the center of those questions stood one man, Zach. Until now, he had been a shadow in Anna's life, a secret presence hidden behind closed doors. But the time had come for him to step forward and face the family whose trust he needed to earn. It was Amber who insisted on meeting him. "If this man is going to be part of your life, Anna, then he needs to stand here in front of us and prove himself," she said firmly. Trent agreed, his silence carrying the weight of a father's protective instinct. The siblings, curious and anxious, waited for the moment when the mysterious banker would finally appear. Zach arrived one evening, dressed neatly in a crisp shirt and tie, his demeanor calm, but his eyes betraying nerves. He carried himself with quiet confidence, but the tension in the room was undeniable. Amber and Trent sat across from him, their expressions guarded, while Anna sat beside him, her hand resting lightly on his arm as if to remind him he wasn't alone. "I know I should have come sooner," Zach began, his voice steady but humble. "I love Anna. I respect her. And I want to take responsibility for the life we've created together." His words were simple, but they carried weight. He wasn't hiding, he wasn't running, he was standing in the light, ready to face whatever judgment came his way. Amber's eyes narrowed. "You're a banker," she said. "That means stability. But stability isn't just about money. It's about commitment, about honesty. Why should we believe you'll stand by her when things get hard?" Zach met her gaze without flinching. "Because I already have," he replied. "I've been here, even when it meant staying hidden. I'm ready to be here openly for her and for our child." Trent leaned forward, his voice low but firm. "Do you understand what this means? This isn't just about love. This is about family, about responsibility. If you fail her, you fail all of us." Zach nodded, his jaw tight. "I understand, and I won't fail." The room was heavy with silence, but slowly, the tension began to ease. Amber's expression softened. though her eyes still carried caution. Trent leaned back, his arms crossed, but there was a flicker of acceptance in his gaze. The siblings whispered among themselves, intrigued by the man who had stepped out of the shadows. For Anna, it was a moment of relief. Zach had faced her family, spoken his truth, and stood tall. The secret was no longer hidden. The boyfriend was revealed, and with him came the promise of a future, one that would test them all, but one that was finally out in the open. News travels fast, especially in close-knit communities where every glance, every whisper, and every rumor becomes a story of its own. Once Anna's secret was revealed to her family, it didn't take long for the outside world to catch wind of the truth. Friends, neighbors, and even distant acquaintances began to talk, their voices weaving a narrative that spread far beyond the Johnston household. At first, it was subtle. A few curious looks at the grocery store, hushed conversations at church, and questions from friends who claimed they just wanted to know. But soon, the whispers grew louder, transforming into speculation, judgment, and gossip. Some saw Anna's pregnancy as scandalous, a reckless decision that reflected poorly on her family. Others, however, viewed it as a story of young love, resilience, and the courage to face life's unexpected turns. Amber felt the sting of the community's reactions most sharply. As a mother, she wanted to shield her daughter from the harshness of public opinion, but she also knew that their family had always lived under a spotlight. People watched, people judged, and people talked. Trent, though quieter, carried the weight of protecting his family's reputation. He reminded Amber that their strength lay not in silencing the world, but in standing united against it. For Anna, the reactions were overwhelming. Friends she thought she could trust pulled away, unsure of how to support her. Others leaned in closer, offering words of encouragement and promises of loyalty. The duality of support and criticism left her feeling torn, grateful for those who stood by her, but wounded by those who turned their backs. Zach, too, faced scrutiny. As a banker, he was known in the community, respected for his professionalism. But now, his name was tied to whispers of scandal. Some questioned his intentions, wondering if he was truly committed to Anna or if he had simply stumbled into responsibility. Zach met the criticism with quiet determination, refusing to let the opinions of others shake his resolve. "They don't know us," he told Anna. "They don't know our love." The community's reactions became a mirror, reflecting both the harshness of judgment and the beauty of compassion. For every person who criticized, there was another who offered support. For every whisper of scandal, there was a voice of encouragement. And through it all, Anna began to realize that her story was no longer just hers. It was a story that belonged to everyone who watched, everyone who judged, and everyone who cared. The storm outside the Johnston home was fierce, but within its walls, a new strength was forming. The family was learning that love, though tested by the world, could withstand even the harshest of reactions. The storm of community whispers had shaken Anna, but within the walls of her home, something unexpected was beginning to take shape. Amber, who had been torn between anger and compassion during the confrontation, found herself reflecting deeply on her daughter's journey. She thought of the secrecy, the courage it took to confess, and the resilience Anna showed in facing judgment. Slowly, Amber's heart began to shift from disappointment to resolve. One evening, Amber sat alone in the living room, the quiet hum of the house surrounding her. She replayed every moment, the shock of Anna's confession, Zach's steady words, the community's divided reactions. And then she thought of the future. Her daughter was not just facing motherhood, she was stepping into adulthood, into responsibility, into a life that demanded stability. Amber realized that as a mother, her role was not to punish, but to guide. Not to condemn, but to support. The decision came suddenly, yet it felt inevitable. Amber would give Anna the foundation she needed to build her new life. A home. Not just any home, but a house worth $1 million, a gift that would symbolize both forgiveness and faith in her daughter's future. It was a gesture that carried weight, not only financially but emotionally. It was Amber's way of saying, "I believe in you. I believe in your love. And I believe in the family you are about to create." When Amber shared her decision with Trent, he was silent at first. He understood the magnitude of such a gift, the message it would send. But as he looked at his wife, he saw the determination in her eyes, the unwavering belief that this was the right path. Slowly, he nodded. "If this is what you feel is best, then I'll stand with you," he said. Together, they agreed that their daughter's future deserved a chance to flourish. The announcement to Anna was unforgettable. Amber called her into the room, her voice steady but warm. "Anna," she began, "we know the road ahead won't be easy, but we want you to start it with strength. For your wedding, we're gifting you a home, a house worth $1 million. It's yours to build your life with Zach and your child." Anna's eyes filled with tears. She had expected anger, disappointment, perhaps even rejection. But instead, she was met with love, support, and a gift beyond her imagination. Zach, standing beside her, was speechless, his gratitude overflowing. For the first time, the future felt secure, the path ahead illuminated by her parents' faith. Amber's decision was more than generosity. It was a declaration. A mother's love, tested by secrecy and scandal, had emerged stronger than ever. And with that decision, the family began to heal, ready to face the next chapter together. With Amber's decision to gift Anna a $1 million home, the family's story shifted from scandal to hope. The announcement of Anna and Zach's wedding, set for March 10, 2026, became the new focal point. What had begun as a secret romance was now transforming into a public celebration, and preparations for the big day carried both excitement and tension. The Johnston household buzzed with activity. Amber, determined to make the wedding unforgettable, threw herself into planning. She envisioned a ceremony that would not only honor her daughter's love, but also restore the family's standing in the community. Every detail mattered: the venue, the guest list, the decorations. She wanted the day to be perfect, a symbol of resilience and new beginnings. Anna, meanwhile, found herself caught between joy and nerves. The thought of walking down the aisle filled her with dreams of a future with Zach. But the weight of public scrutiny lingered. She knew that many in the community still whispered about her pregnancy, still judged her choices. Yet she also knew that the wedding would be her chance to stand proudly, to show that love could overcome scandal. Zach took on his own responsibilities. As a banker, he was meticulous, ensuring that finances were in order, that plans were realistic, and that nothing would jeopardize the day. He wanted to prove to Amber and Trent that he was not only committed to Anna emotionally, but also capable of providing stability. His quiet determination reassured Anna, even as the chaos of planning swirled around them. The siblings played their part too. Some helped with decorations, others with invitations, and all of them rallied around Anna in their own ways. The family, once fractured by secrecy, was beginning to heal through shared effort. The wedding preparations became more than logistics. They became a symbol of unity, of love rediscovered. As the date drew closer, anticipation grew. Dresses were chosen, vows were written, and the venue was prepared to welcome guests from near and far. The $1 million home, though not yet revealed, loomed in the background as a promise of the future. Anna often found herself imagining life within its walls, raising her child, building her family, and proving to the world that she was stronger than the whispers. The preparations carried both joy and pressure, but through it all, Anna and Zach held on to each other. Their love, once hidden in shadows, was now preparing to stand in the light. The wedding was no longer just an event. It was a turning point, a declaration, and a promise of everything yet to come. As the wedding preparations reached their peak, anticipation filled the Johnston household. Dresses were chosen, vows rehearsed, and invitations sent. Yet beneath all the excitement, Amber carried a secret of her own, a surprise that would redefine her daughter's future. She had made her decision weeks earlier, but now the time had come to reveal it. Anna and Zach were called into the living room one evening, the air charged with curiosity. Amber and Trent sat together, their expressions calm but purposeful. Anna, already overwhelmed by the whirlwind of wedding planning, wondered what new conversation awaited her. Zach, ever steady, held her hand, ready to face whatever came. Amber began softly, her voice carrying both authority and warmth. "Anna, Zach," she said, "we've watched you face challenges. We've seen you stand together, and we've seen you grow stronger through it all. As parents, our role is to guide, but also to give you the tools to build your own life. And so, we've decided to give you something that will help you begin that journey." Anna's eyes widened, her breath catching. Trent leaned forward, his tone firm but kind. "We're gifting you a home. Not just any home, a house worth $1 million. It will be yours to start your family, to build your future, to create the life you've dreamed of." The words hung in the air, heavy with meaning. Anna's hands flew to her mouth, tears spilling down her cheeks. She had expected support, perhaps encouragement, but never something so monumental. Zach sat stunned, his usual calm, shaken by the enormity of the gift. "$1 million home?" he whispered, almost in disbelief. Amber nodded, her eyes shining. "Yes, it's our way of saying we believe in you, in your love, and in the family you're about to create." The siblings, gathered nearby, erupted in excitement. Some cheered, others gasped, all of them recognizing the significance of the moment. The Johnston household, once fractured by secrecy and scandal, now radiated with hope and unity. The gift was more than financial, it was symbolic. It was Amber's declaration that love, even when born in shadows, deserved the chance to flourish in the light. Anna embraced her mother, sobbing with gratitude. "Thank you," she whispered. "I'll make you proud." Zach, his voice steady once more, added, "We'll honor this gift. We'll build a life worthy of your faith in us." The house of dreams was no longer just a promise. It was a reality waiting to unfold. And with it came the assurance that Anna and Zach's journey, though tested, was destined to begin on solid ground. March 10, 2026 arrived with the kind of anticipation that only a wedding can bring. The venue was adorned with flowers, lights, and the warmth of family and friends gathered to witness a love story that had begun in secrecy, but now stood proudly in the open. Anna, radiant in her gown, walked down the aisle with a mixture of nerves and joy. Every step carried the weight of her journey, the hidden room dates, the whispers, the confrontation, and the unexpected news that had changed her life forever. Zach stood waiting, his eyes fixed on her, his expression filled with determination and love. For him, this moment was more than a ceremony, it was a declaration. He was no longer the secret boyfriend slipping through shadows. He was the man who had faced judgment, proven his commitment, and now stood ready to build a future with Anna. Amber and Trent watched with pride, their emotions a blend of relief and joy. The $1 million home they had gifted was more than bricks and mortar. It was a symbol of their faith in their daughter's resilience and in Zach's promise. As they witnessed the vows exchanged, they knew their family had weathered the storm and emerged stronger. The ceremony was filled with laughter, tears, and the kind of moments that lingered in memory forever. The siblings cheered, the guests applauded, and the community, once divided by whispers, now celebrated openly. The scandal that had once threatened to overshadow Anna's life was replaced by a story of redemption, love, and unity. After the vows, the reception carried on with music, dancing, and heartfelt speeches. Zach spoke of his gratitude, his promise to honor Anna and their child, and his determination to build a life worthy of the trust placed in him. Anna, her voice trembling with emotion, spoke of love's power to endure, to heal, and to transform even the most unexpected circumstances. As the night drew to a close, Anna and Zach stood together, looking toward the future. The million-dollar home awaited them, a place where they would raise their child, build their family, and prove that love could overcome any obstacle. The journey had been filled with secrecy, scandal, and struggle, but it had led them to this moment. A moment of triumph, of unity, and of hope. The big day was not just a wedding. It was the culmination of a story that had tested every bond, every belief, and every heart. And as Anna and Zach stepped into their new life, the question lingered. What comes next? Love born in shadows, tested by whispers, and redeemed in the light. Anna and Zach's journey has been nothing short of extraordinary. But as they step into their new home, with a child on the way and a future unfolding before them, one question remains. Will their love continue to withstand the pressures of family, community, and responsibility? Or will new challenges emerge that test the strength they fought so hard to build? What do you think lies ahead for Anna and Zach? More update. 7 little Johnstons. Was Anna really absent from her niece Leighton's birthday? Liz blocks Anna on social media after heated altercation. And Anna claps back at Dad Trent with a fiery response, claims he wouldn't have the show without her. Anna confirms she wasn't invited to Liz and Bryce's wedding, reveals dark side of her family. I will explain everything. Fans of 7 Little Johnstons have been talking a lot about the difficult relationship between Liz and Anna Johnston. Liz has definitely gotten a lot of attention in the last several days. The show has covered everything about her life, from her wedding to her cute daughter's birthday to her fight with her sister. This time, the breach in her relationship with Anna got bigger. The event in question is Leighton's first birthday. TLC just put out a video teaser of Leighton's first big event. It looks like all the birthday invitations went out except for one. Liz, as expected, did not ask Anna to her daughter's birthday. So fans were really angry when they saw that Aunt Anna wasn't at Leighton's big day. Another day, another drama with the 7 Little Johnstons. Right now, the family's interactions are just a back and forth of accusations and insults. Things were really tense when Leighton turned 1. TLC had already released a video peek of the family arranging the child's birthday celebration. Liz stuck to her guns and didn't change her mind about ignoring Anna. Trent also said that it would be awkward if Anna were present. Amber then agreed with her husband and Liz, stating Leighton doesn't even know her. Anna, on the other hand, was obviously hurt and disappointed when her own family left her out like that. She said, "It makes me sad." Fans were upset about this episode because they thought the Johnstons were treating Anna badly. Anna and Liz's relationship on 7 Little Johnstons keeps getting worse and worse. Every day that goes by, the fissures between the two sisters get worse. It seems like the whole Johnston family is blaming Anna for not getting along with them. They all encouraged her to take responsibility, but they also cut her out of family planning and festivities. In an earlier TLC video preview, fans might remember that Liz didn't invite Anna to Leighton's first birthday celebration. The Johnstons then backed her up and refused to let the latter come to family occasions. They made her bear all the blame. They also gave a number of reasons for their choice to cut her out. TLC just put out another sneak peek video. The Johnstons are throwing a party for Leighton's first birthday. At first, the birthday girl was fussy since she didn't know how to deal with all the attention. But she was definitely interested in her yellow unicorn cake. The family's patio was decorated with birthday decorations with animals on them. While her dad blew out the candles, everyone sang her the birthday song. The footage showed the Johnston cousin taking part in the celebration. But supporters instantly pointed out that someone very significant was not there. They were astonished to find out that Liz had stuck to her plan not to invite Anna. So it was no surprise that Anna wasn't at her niece's first birthday party. Liz blocks Anna on social media after heated altercation. Fans of the Seven Little Johnstons are having a very tense time with the Johnston family. TLC put out a number of video clips that show how messed up the family is. Because of this, the fans have been very critical of the family over the previous few days. Also, Liz Johnston has really made a name for herself in the last few days. Whether it's her wedding, her cute daughter's birthday, or her fight with Anna. The fans know that the two sisters don't get along very well, but it doesn't look like they'll be able to make up just now. This time, the breach in their relationship was even bigger. It looks like Liz has blocked Anna since Leighton's birthday, which has made things worse between them. Read on to learn more. Fans of Seven Little Johnstons may remember that Anna was determined not to let Anna come to Leighton's birthday party. The TLC video preview also showed Trent and Amber supporting Liz's choice. So, as expected, Liz didn't invite Anna to Leighton's first birthday party and didn't send her an invitation. TLC put out another video about Leighton's birthday. From the birthday videos, it looks like Liz had invited a lot of family friends and distant relatives. Leighton doesn't know half of them, but fans later noticed something strange in the videos. Anna, Leighton's aunt and a very important person, was not in the videos. So it was no surprise that Anna wasn't there for her niece's first birthday party. People have been talking a lot about TLC's new video previews of Seven Little Johnstons. Some of these previews have become very popular very quickly. Fans have questioned the Johnstons' honesty because of how they act and what they say. But TLC doesn't seem to be taking a break. They posted a lot of new video clips that show the ongoing fight. Fans might remember that baby Leighton's first birthday was right in the heart of the Johnston family drama fire. There is a follow-up, though. The new preview for TLC's film shows what happened after the big birthday celebration. There was a conversation between Liz and Emma in it. They talked about what seemed to be a misunderstanding. Liz talked about a fake post that was made on the internet. Fans have been very vocal about how the family cut Anna out of Leighton's first big event like that. One of the comments said that Anna was invited but didn't show up. The latter, seeing that, got understandably angry and confronted the latter. Liz said that someone was pretending to be her, but Anna didn't believe her. Liz, being Liz, lost her cool and said some pretty mean things to Anna. She said to Anna, "You're so pathetic." Liz then told Emma that she was just acting out of anger at the time. She also put all the blame on Anna for fixing the family's problems and without warning blocked her. Anna claps back at Dad Trent with a fiery response, claims he wouldn't have the show without her. Anna Johnston, a star of Seven Little Johnstons, didn't hold back when she told her dad, Trent, the truth. She sent out an angry letter and said that the concert was a success because of her. The reality TV star was quite offended when he informed her she would be nothing without him. But Anna resolved to make things right and told her dad he should be thankful for her. She is tired of being called the problem and the villain in every situation. The reality TV star is done holding back and wants her parents to confront the truth. When Trent bullied his own daughter, he got a lot of bad press. Fans wanted to know why he couldn't stop blaming her. What did Anna say? Is she getting all the credit for how well the show did? In season 16 of Seven Little Johnstons, Trent Johnston showed fans his actual self and what he was really like. People were quite angry with him for being overly rude and toxic to Anna. During a violent argument with his daughter, the reality TV personality got angry. Trent wouldn't listen to anything Anna had to say about how she felt. Instead, he tried to take control of the story and put all the responsibility on her. The star of TLC said, "You wouldn't have anything if it weren't for us." Trent even told Anna that he paid for the down payment on her property. Fans were angry with him for talking about the things he'd done for his kid. They thought he didn't do her any favors by paying for her house. Fans blasted out the TLC star for bragging about everything after using Anna on TV for years. Anna Johnston is quite saddened to witness her relatives talking badly about her behind her back. She finally told them how terrible they are. The star of Seven Little Johnstons posted a TikTok video to talk about how she felt about everything that transpired in season 16. Anna got really upset with Trent and Amber for talking about her behind her back. She remarked that what they all said about her pained her. "I all wouldn't have a show if it weren't for me," said the star of TLC. Anna told her family off for talking about her when she wasn't even there. She made fun of them for being stupid to get attention and keep the spectacle going. The reality TV personality made fun of her family for not having work. Anna said that her dad and Jonah never worked and relied on the program for money. She'd also said that Elizabeth lied about being a registered nurse. The star of TLC said how hard it was for her to help the family film the show while she was in college. Anna said, "At least I'm getting up and going to work every day, Monday through Friday." While filming for the episode, she bragged about operating her own business. The star of Little Johnstons said that while she was in college, she had to fly every weekend to film the show. Anna also made it apparent that Trent hasn't given her the down payment yet. She said that he simply paid the P&I because he wanted to. Anna confirms she wasn't invited to Liz and Bryce's wedding, reveals dark side of her family. Star of Seven Little Johnstons, Anna Johnston is done hiding the bad things about her family. Finally, she talked about all the allegations that were going around about why she wasn't at her sister Liz and Bryce's wedding. The TLC star told the truth about what transpired and if she was there on their big day. Anna didn't hold back and said that her family had ignored her before. She also showed their true colors, which they may have been trying to keep from the audience. Liz, Trent, and Amber's daughter got married in a romantic fall ceremony. She walked down the aisle with her longtime companion, Bryce Bolden. The two shared all of their good moments with their admirers. But Anna didn't say anything about getting an invitation from her sister. Did Liz and Bryce not ask her to come? What is the truth? What else has Anna said? On Seven Little Johnstons, Liz Johnston is not thrilled with her older sister Anna. She was the first to back up her parents, Trent and Amber, for how they treated her. The reality TV personality said that she hasn't tried to meet Leighton or spend time with her. In a recent confession, Liz talked about the problems her family is having with Anna. "Anna hasn't contacted me at all to ask how her niece is doing or how Leighton is doing," she said. The reality TV star didn't want to become involved in Anna's family conflict. But Elizabeth thinks her sister should have at least tried to get along with her siblings. Fans didn't understand why she couldn't get in touch with her and try. Anna Johnston didn't say anything new about Liz's wedding. She didn't say anything about it on social media and didn't wish her sister well. Liz and Bryce's engagement left out the star of Seven Little Johnstons. So others thought that the couple might not have included Anna on their big day. Recently, the latter chose to deal with all the rumors during a live TikTok session. The famous person from reality TV was talking to her fans. So Anna said she wouldn't go to Liz's wedding. She said she went to her friend's baby shower that day. The reality TV personality also talked about the bad things that happened in her family. A Reddit user submitted the footage to talk about why Anna wasn't at the wedding. The OP noted, "Anna said that the Johnstons don't just treat her badly, they also treat her family badly. Some of her cousins weren't even asked to come." She said that her cousins, Ella and Carrington, also didn't go to the wedding. But the TLC diva said she would tell all in her forthcoming videos. Fans were shocked that Liz didn't invite her sister and cousins to her wedding. Who doesn't invite their sister and cousins to their wedding? One fan said. Another person saw that Anna mentioned her cousins didn't travel. This indicates that Ella and Carrington didn't go to the wedding. They have been there for Anna and have been very close to her. The Johnstons may also have problems with them. Another user said, "Of course she didn't. They probably didn't invite her." No more today. What are you thinking about this gossip today? Let us know in the comments, and stay tuned by subscribing to our channel to get more updates like this. Thank you.